everybody. Happy New Year. 2024 is on the way. That's right. Tomorrow night is New Year's Eve. And that's what we made in our kids club today. A noise maker so that everybody can make a bunch of noise and celebrate on New Year's Eve. Well, that was a lot of fun making that. I'll put it down now and quit making all that racket. Anyway, we are very, very close to a new year. 2024 is knocking on the door. That's right. And we've got a whole lot more in store. Hey, I'm just rhyming away. All right. I've got my drawing already done here. It's the Snowman's Party. So you can kind of see exactly where we're headed with this one. It's going to be a little celebration for the new year and for a little snowman. I'm going to tilt you down and zoom you in, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Loop you down right there. That ought to be pretty. Let me see if I can pull you up a little bit. I don't know what's going on with the phone there. Somebody's sending me a message and notification, and I'm not going to mess with that. That's right. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some dark blue. So let me get that out. Here's some true navy. That'll work. And I'm just going to put some of that out on my palette. And then I'm going to be using a little bit of a brighter blue. So that's just more of a primary blue. We'll go ahead and get some of that out. Oops. Not quite that. That wasn't quite necessary now, was it? That was quite a bit. That's okay. We'll just take our napkin and clean that up. We don't want too much of a mess already. Oh, sure we do. If you don't have paint on you, did you really paint? I'm not really sure. You got to get the paint all over the place if you really want to say that you painted, huh? All right, and of course we're going to need white for this painting. And I'm going to go ahead and get some of that out because that's going to be the three main items that we're going to use to start here. Okay. And I'm going to start, I'm going to use this brush and this brush. With this big flat brush here. And I'm just going to work this around the edges with this dark blue. This is the true navy. And I want it to be a little darker up here in this portion of the sky. And I'm just going to tap this around the edges. To give it a nice completed look. And to smooth up any wet, drippy paint that's over the top edge there, which there was. Wet, drippy paint over the top of the edge. Okay, so now we've got that on there. I'm going to pull this thing off, that little green thing. I'm going to go straight into that lighter blue, the bright blue. And I'm going to start adding that into the background. Bring it right on up to the edge of the cup. Now actually you're going to be able to see this through the back of the cup. Right through here. About like that. here. Not too worried about it getting in the cup either, because it's going to kind of be in the background of it also. Right around my little snowman here, and right up the side of the cup. I'm just going to add some more here. And just sort of bring it a little bit right over top of where the dark blue is. Mix a little more of the dark blue in with it. So that it has a little bit more of a blended look to it back in here. But I want it to kind of stay a little light around the snowman. Just a little bit lighter around that snowman. Okay. About like that should be good. Okay, I'm just going to wipe this off. And I'm not really going to rinse it. And I'm going to get me some white. And I'm going to start working that in down here. And just adding more white as I go. Letting that darker blue just blend right in with it. That's why I left my brush dirty, so specifically to kind of get a blended up white and dark blue color. So that it automatically, basically highlights itself. We're just going to go ahead and pull this light blue right on into the cups. For right now. Just kind of fill this in right back through here. I'm not too worried about. We just want it to blend some. Okay. Same with right in there. I need to get a little more paint right in here. And we're going to get some of this around the edges. Let me see about this edge over here. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit on the edge over there with my finger taking it off. Let's get a little bit across the bottom. A little bit. Okay, now let me look at it here. I'm going to add, let's see, some more white right under here where the glasses are. And I want a little more white back in here. Kind of working itself up this way. Just kind of tap that along there. A little more white along the side over here. start painting our snowman. And we're just going to let the blue that's in there naturally shading. Now I want him to be darker on this side, so I'm going to really press my blue out of the brush on this side. And I need his face over here to be darker, so I'm going to put some of this darker blue right up in here. And then we're going to add some white. Lighten him up a little bit. Let's see, I'm going to turn it this way for just a moment. Lighten him up here in the front. Now, I don't want him to be all dark blue, so I'm just going to lightly pull the white right over the top of that. And paint his little face up here. The white. Just building on my snow. Just kind of tapping it in spots. Kind of give it that textured sort of look to it here. We want a little more snow up here in the front. Right underneath where the glasses are. What is that? Take that out. Okay. Now you can kind of see him a little better. I need to blend this just a little bit better here. I think that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good so far. Okay, so now I need to get out some yellow. Where's my little gold? a little bit of gold. Yellow. And I'm going to put this brush up, and I'm going to get this brush out. And I'm going to start off with making some of the darker gold area. Right along the side of the cup. Across here. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Somebody's trying to get a hold of me. I'll have to get back to them. We're going to put the gold here. It's going to come down a little on this side. It's going to fill in this spot right here with the gold. Gold over here, bring this down a little more. And then I'm going to start bringing in some of the yellow. Didn't even wipe that up. I'm just going straight into the yellow with my dirty brush. And I'm going to let that gold just blend right in with this yellow. Smooth that down just a little bit there, Janet. Go right over top of the gold. Going right over top of what I did with the gold with this yellow as well. And then I'm going to get me some white. Right down the side of this cup. Right down the side of this cup. Comes all the way down the side of this cup. Fill this in with this white here. And let me see here, the white would be right here. Wipe that off a little bit, get me some more of that white. Making the bubbles on the top. Yeah, that needs to be like a little bit higher in the middle. I think it needs to like kind of be bubbling up. See how we're getting the glasses to look so far? Okay, now I need to make a very light rim around the top of them. So let me see. I'm going to have to add a little water to my white. Thin it down some. All right. Okay. Let's see, this is going to need to be a little bit lighter in the here. That shows the other cup in the background a little bit. Let me see. That might need a little more of the gold mixed in. Make just this little bit darker right through here. Oops, not white. Kind of blending the gold with that just to kind of show it. Little bit of a difference right in there. You can kind of see the cup through the cup. Cup through the cup. Okay, so now I'm going to have to, let's see. This needs to be a little bit lighter on this side. Bring it sort of around a little bit. Okay, and then bit of this blue and mix it with a little bit of white. I want it to kind of be a okay, that ought to work. And that needs to kind of go like right that way. And maybe we'll get a little bit of that down through right here. Maybe get a little more of that paint. Let's just take a little line of that and drag it right underneath right there. And we'll do the same thing on the next cup. Fill this in with that blue. Small little line inside the cup. Draw it coming down right through here. And this cup's going to be in the front. And I'll have to touch this up with white once I'm done, but I'm going to get at least some of the shading underneath. Making a little triangular shape on the bottom down here. Okay, and now we're going to darken that up a little bit here, get a little more of this darker blue mixed in with it. Okay, let me get this dark blue here. And we want it to kind of come around and bring it right down the side. Let me see, it needs to kind of come right down the edge of this cup. Let me look at this. How should this look? Okay, I think it's going to have a white streak that goes through it right there, so we'll just kind of bring this down, and then we'll add the white to it in a second. say to about right there. And it's going to have a dark line here, and dark that goes more through here, and a little bit under here. Get that blue. Just going to outline that real lightly with this blue. All right, we're going to do the same thing to the next cup. Using that dark blue. Needs a little bit of darkness on this side. Okay. Right along underneath here. Bring that over this way. Just making some fun little lines to kind of give it a rounded appearance down here at the bottom. And you kind of see the two stems for the glasses. And I'm trying to think, where should I be adding some more interest in here? I'd say right up in here needs a little bit of help in this area. Let's put a couple of little dots in there just to kind of give it the look that maybe it's bubbly. Just a little bit. There needs to be a darker line that goes like right see, let me turn it this way maybe. Don't do that. Get a little bit of this. And let's see, the other one. This one's going to have one right in here. Right down through there like that, so that it sort of separates the two glasses. Just a little bit, you know, just to separate it up a little bit. Okay, so let me see here. I'm thinking maybe the angle's not quite right on that. I'm not going to stress too much about this, though. Then we're going to have to add a little white to that. Just right down the middle here. Try to keep my hand steady so it doesn't end up making it look like a crooked glass. And then we need to add a little bit of sparkle in here, so let's just kind of put a few little dots. Get a little more white. There's turning more blue than anything. A little more bubbly at the bottom. A little more bubbly at the bottom down here. Just a little bit of texture to it, a little bit of bubbles in it, so that it looks like champagne, since that's what we're actually trying to draw here. The glasses aren't that great, but that's good enough. I'm not going to stress too much about this stuff. It's just a fun painting to do, right? I'm going to just put a little bit more of the... No, that didn't work. That wasn't the right color. Get the navy. Don't know what I'm worrying about that for. I'm going to add other colors to it. But that's okay. We're not going to worry about that for right now. Going to get me some black out. Rinse off my brush. Turn him around a little bit here. And we'll just fill in his eyes. That other eye certainly looks a lot bigger, doesn't it? We'll just make this one a little bigger. Doesn't hurt nothing. Let me get him down here where you're actually seeing him, huh? Probably haven't had him in the cup in the picture for you for the half of the painting. I'm bad for that. I know, I'm sorry. Need to get myself a better light situation here and setup so that I can bring it over the top and you can see everything so much better. Instead of trying to tilt you down. Give our little fella some buttons. Pull that in. Okay, that's pretty good for the buttons. Let me see, I'm going to need a little bit of gold. I'm going to use a little bit of gold just to make his arms. I'm just going to wipe this off. Let's bring this one on over here. This one a little bit thicker. And just a touch of black to it, just the tiniest touch of black to it. Darken it up. Bring that right along the bottom of it. Get that dark color. It's the Snowman's party. He's going to have some champagne. Now you can see his little arms. They got a little bit of shading to them, just a little bit. We'll let that dry. We got to get out a little bit of orange. Paint that fella's nose. And I'm going to get a little bit of red, because I'm going to give him a red hat. And a red scarf. There we go. And let's go to the orange first. Did I even put the orange on there? There it is. I was thinking, geez, I don't even see the orange. Where is it? When you're using a plate that's got so many colors on it. I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell. Where did you pour it? But it's there. You got to look for the shiny one, right? Look for that shiny one that's there. There's your paint, Janet. You put it out. You are not mistaken. You are not losing it. You did put orange paint on your palette. I was thinking, I know I poured the cherry red. Just pull that right up through here. And I'm going to take that color I just made with the gold and the black. And I'm going to wipe some of this off. And I'm going to get right back into that. And I'm just going to take that. And go right there around the side of his nose. Right underneath. And that shaded up his nose just by adding a little bit of dark underneath it. Maybe just a little bit right here on the top. There we go. Now we're just going to rinse that off. And we're going to get some of this cherry red here. I'm going to go over his scarf. Coco just rang the bell downstairs. Poor puppy. That's her way of letting us know that she'd like to go outside. She was trained to do that from a puppy. We hung a little bell on a string on our back door, and every time we would let her out, we would ring the bell. And encourage her to ring the bell. And she learned quite quickly, actually. She's a smart dog. She learned quite quickly, if you ring that bell, someone will, most of the time, come and let you out. Now, of course, if nobody's home, you could ring the bell all you want, and nobody's going to open the door for you because nobody's home to ring the bell. I mean, nobody's there to open the door when you ring the bell. Even though I'm home right now, she's going to just have to wait until I get done. I'm not too concerned, though. It's not like she hasn't been out quite a few different times this morning. Most likely what she is doing is ringing that bell because she's heard the mailman or somebody outside getting in their car or anything along that line, because she's really quite the nosy neighbor. Really quite the nosy neighbor. She loves to go out and voice her opinion. Really. Okay, now he's got a pretty cherry red scarf on his neck. We're going to give him a pretty little cherry red hat. Put some polka dots on it. It's not supposed to look like a Santa hat, so we're not going to make it have a white rim on it here. This is going to be red as well. But it is going to have a little white poofy on the top of it. Because, geez, for all we know, he was built for Christmas. He might be a Christmas snowman who's still out there, and it's time to have a party. Because New Year's is on its way. Just fill that in. Right, got that going there. I can see little spots where the paint is not. Just touch that in there. Okay. Now we're going to take this red and we're just going to kind of make some red coming out. In different areas here. Kind of just going around. And then we're going to go to some of the yellow. And just drag it out too. We're just making quick strokes coming from the middle, radiating outward. Kind of making some orange now, huh? That's all right. You can see the beginning of his firework popping out here. We're going to let that dry a little bit. While that's drying, I need to work on that snow down here. Go back and do this. Glasses are sitting on a pile of snow, so we need to have it look like the bottom of it's actually sitting in the snow. Kind of bring them more to the foreground a little bit. A little more white in this area. We've got the fireworks pointing out here in the front, so there's going to be a little more light over here. Kind of along that way, yeah. So you see the firework shooting out, and it's got to make a little bit of light here. Right along the top of the snow. Maybe not so much back here. What am I doing? That's behind him. Darken that back up. Good, that's not to say that it might not be lighter behind him. Who knows? Who knows, huh? Let's get a little bit of that darker blue-white there. Just sort of... Just darken that a little bit right in there. Just sort of darken him on the edge there a little bit on the side so you can kind of see where he ends and where the snow is. Just a little bit. Okay, put that back over here. Wipe that off. Putting some white in there. The snowman's having a party. Got fireworks going off in the sky. Yeah, we need some more of it out, flying out further. Just little stripes coming out in different directions. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and poof up his white hat, the white on his hat. Don't want to forget to fix that. And then we'll get just a little bit of the blue mixed in with it. so that it's got a little shading to it. Just a little bit of blue mixed in there on that white boat, on that white ball. Let's wipe this off. Take this, and we're just gonna put some dots on his hat. Oop, that's too much paint. Maybe just fix that one a little bit. Maybe I'll use you instead. Okay, that looks pretty good. Little white dots all over his little hat. Get some of this white here, and we're just gonna make sure we're not touching anything wet. Put two little white stripes right at the end of his scarf. And then we'll just add some fun white lines here on there. Not that thick of white. Just making some little fun white lines on there. Put a little bit of snow right along the top of his hat. Just a little. He's been standing there a couple days. He's got a little snow on him. A little bit right in here. Makes his hat show up a little bit better. Put a little fun line right here under his chin, and a little bit of fun going across the top of his nose. There we go. Got a little bit of snow coming up his arm. Let's give him a little bit of snow coming up the top of this one too then. Put a little reflection on his buttons. A fun little dot in his eyes. Just kind of livens him up a little bit. Add a little bit of snow to him and a little bit of lines on his scarf. We could even make this kind of curve right up through here to where you know the scarf just comes together right here in a knot. Just helps lighten up his little scarf a little bit to where you see it a little bit better. me work on my firework a little bit better here. We need a bright dot of yellow in the middle. If I can get it to do it. I want it to be a little brighter. I'm going to add more yellow. That fireworks coming to life back here. Start bursting out this way. Put some little dots of yellow in here. Lots and lots of little yellow dots. And then we're going to add some white dots. Lots and lots of little white dots just kind of popping around. Big firework going off in the back there. Look at that thing. Pow! Here we'll make a... Oh, let's make some of them. Let me just get this brush. Put that in there. Let's see, we'll make some... Oh, that didn't work right. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Let's see, what brush can I use to do that? Maybe you. Maybe just do it that way. That'll work. It's like I need a little dotter is what I'd like to have. A little bitty dot. A little bitty dot maker. Do I have one? I got a big one. That's okay. We can use the end of it. Just, let me see. Just put about 4 or 5 of those. Where's that orange? Some dots of orange. Do some dots of yellow. Do a dot of the, mix up some of this lighter blue. Do a dot of that there, and a dot of it there. Maybe one there. One there. Put one there. One there. One there. Put a half of one there. A little one there. And let's see, what can I do? I'm gonna add some yellow right on top of that orange. Well, that didn't work. Put some of the yellow off to the side of it. Maybe that's what I need to do. Put some of those that way. Let's get some white. Put that in there. Oops. Let's try that one again. Here we go. Just adding dots everywhere. And now we got colorful dots falling all over the sky. take this and just put little dots all over. What in the heck is hanging on it? Some kind of hair. Lots of little white dots right on top of the other dots. Just adding little white dots everywhere. They can kind of look like they're coming up out of the cup into the firework. Just still adding dots. As you can see, I'm just sitting here dotting it up. It's a fun little painting, isn't it? I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a good time sitting over here painting. I'm just going to town here, adding the dots. Yeah, but what makes it fun is just embellishing things and adding more and more to it. Add more and more and more wherever you want to put them. I like them right on the top of the other colors. Gives it like a snow type look coming down. That's probably about enough now, don't you think? I probably should stop. Although I'm having fun. I think he's done. It's the snowman's party. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve. And I will see you again on Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I'll see you again real soon. Bye.